on, again, the area of concern. Okay, I see there's still a few more people who want to be heard, and this is why the town hall is here, because of you. So, you, sir, let's start. We'll come back to you. Please, sir.
Mr. S.G. Idrees from Bauchi Central, Bauchi South Senatorial District. I have some 2 or 3 issues. One is on these issues of Northeast Development Commission. The major problem in Nigeria at the moment is the issue of security and misplacement caused by insecurity. In the wisdom of the last assembly, we had a commission in the Northeast, which affects virtually all the 6 states of the northeastern part. From what we've been following antecedents, the Northeast Development Commission have not been functional, and rightly, the member rightly pointed out that one of their major responsibility apart from lawmaking is an oversighting the executive to ensure that money appropriated for certain projects are actually carried out. And majorly, why some of us keep having this confusion that we expect more than the constitutional duty of the members of the House of the National Assembly, of the legislature generally, is because of their posture. If I could remember in 1999, when we returned to democracy, the first issue we had was wardrobe allowances for the members. It becomes a major national issue. Today, if you are talking of major backlash between the executive and the legislature, is always on this area of constituency allowances, projects, and the development we have seen. In most instances, members are concerned about some of these projects because they bring those who will do the contracts and give them their kickback upfront. No, these are facts. They are facts.
Let's call them allegation until we can substantiate
yes. So
them.
what I'm trying to point out here is
that
that is partly responsible for why I felt that sometimes those things that do not concern them directly, they pay less attention. The Northeast Development Commission would have been a major boost in solving the issues of displaced people in the Northeast, but you see that the activities of this commission is going unchecked. I have had cause of writing even petitions on behalf of certain organizations which feel they are IDPs but they are not being attended to. They see what is meant for them going to the general market, and nobody is there to fight for them.
Okay,
that's one.
Let's give somebody else a chance because there are quite a few of you. But thank you for your submission so far. There's a hand right at the back there. You, sir. Thank you, Barrister.
Good morning, all. Good morning, all. My name is Chima Zubiki. I write for Punch Newspaper in Gombe. While the Honorable Member was talking, he said something about the reps and the Senate being the same. And that actually, has given me this question, the need for this question. If they are the same, going by the mega resources that we have at hand, don't you think it's actually, time for, a collapse of this bicameral legislature, to just one single entity? And I think that the reps will actually be will actually, do more, because in each state you have more than 3. So that actually 6 at least. So I feel that, since Nigeria does not have as much resources as it used to have, I think, there is need for us to collapse the buyer to, one single house. Thank you.
Thank you, Chima. So Chima is basically saying a unicameral legislature instead of the bicameral one we run now due to resources. Right, due to time, we're still here on this is just the first part of the town hall. We'll still hear from you as we go along. I'd like to come back to our legislators once again to key into what our constituents have said. Emmanuel from Jalingo. Let me start with Honorable Lowry. Now, Emmanuel from Jalingo was talking about, he was specific, he says the Jalingo-Numan roads, he mentioned jobs for the youth, he mentioned empowerment, he says, legislators should factor in boreholes. Honorable Lowry, if you'll please respond to Emmanuel from Jalingo.
Yes, thank you, Emmanuel, for that your observation. Let me tell you, the legislators are working on that. I remember there is a joint motion on that Numan Jalingo Road, and also that of Gombe Numa Road, which I did move that motion of Gombe Numa Road. And I know as a fact that the problem of that road is the release of funds. From Numan, they have done some work, but it has not, just about 15 kilometers. They have done some work for 15 kilometers. I will tell you as a fact that, like the Gombe Road, like the Savannah, that road, the federal government is supposed to release about 2 billion. What was released was just 340 million. So what are you going to achieve with that? So the problem is not the legislator. We have done the work. And let me tell you, I'm sitting down here, I've gone to the Federal Ministry of Works in charge of this road, and even the engineer in charge is always calling me. He's even a relocator overseas to see if we can even talk to the state governor if he will take over for the federal government to pay. So sometimes you would not know until we sit like you, we sit down with you and you ask us questions and they will provide this. Then you will understand. It is our responsibility as legislators to always go back to you and sit down and we discuss with you so that you ask us this question and you know what we are doing. If we don't have this interactive session, you won't know. But as it is the fault of the federal government because there are competing demands and they will tell you this is the envelope we have just given and then there is nothing you can do about that. And in respect of youth empowerment, it's that of the executive, not the legislator. We just have to create means of which the government will not come to do the empowerment.
Create an enabling environment.
It's the executive that executes all the policies and programs. But we just have to make the means for them to do that. And of course, we have to see where there are gaps. I will tell you, for instance, for free. I know that the youth need empowerment. I know that the in thing now is for them to have vocational education. For instance, in my constituency, where it was Numan Technical School, Numan, people from outside used to bring their vehicles for repairs. But the place has run down. And that's why I'm even having a bill now to establish College of Education Technical. Because I know if we have technical vocation, a lot of our youth will now have vocation that can sustain them. It's not just to come and give you a stipend, no. But to create for you an environment where you can learn a trade that will sustain you. And it's a law I'm sponsoring. And if this, if we are able to get it through, you see, we would now create an avenue for the youth to be, educated so that they can now be empowered. So, like I said, and I'm maintaining it, it's not a part of the legislator to say, okay, I'm just empowering you. Forget about what you see that the legislator will come in and just be distributing things. That's not empowerment. How many of them will sustain that? I have done that since I was a state legislator up to here. You give them, you are giving somebody something and he's selling it. He's selling it there. So I believe the best way is to create more vocational centers to train this youth, because if you train them, then they can now, whatever they have, they can now have sustainability. And in respect of the issue of continuity of projects, I agree with you, the person from Mubi. We have this problem. That's why initially I brought the issue of Indonesia. If you have a project, why can't we codify it? And our responsibility as a legislator to codify it. If we do codify it, whoever is coming will not have any option but to conclude that. And we know that if it is finished and the law, by a fruition of time, will be removed. We cannot repeal it. And it will help this country. I believe so much in that. You know, it will help us considerably. Northeast Development Commission, yes, there may be problem, but let me tell you, Northeast Development Commission was the baby of the legislator. We formed the Northeast Development Commission because of the problem. It was not the executive. We, the legislators from the Northeast, sat down and said, look, with what we are passing through, we have to do this. And we did that, and we put the pressure on the president, and he signed that bill. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me continue now regarding the Northeast Development Commission. Let's come now to Honorable Abubakar. Now, the constituent here, that's Barrister SG.
I have them. Let's save time. I have them. Let's just save time.
Okay.
We need more time to do the elucidation.
Yes.
Yeah, stop the recapitulation.
Okay.
Can I just go ahead?
Please, go ahead.
Good. You see, the issue, just like my colleague have said, I will have approached the issue differently. When you have a wrong diagnosis, you end up having the wrong solution. First and foremost, what you at the constituents deem and constituted as a problem, are you sure you've done justice to it? Have you segregated the role of the legislators and that of the executive? Let's say the Northeast Development Commission, like he said, let me take it from there. It is a baby and we'll still remain proud to say we did it. When Mr. President was given at the end of his 30 working days, we got it at the last 11 hour that he assented it. But by that time, we at the 8th Assembly, thank God he is a member there, we were determined to override Mr. President's veto. Because such was done during Obasanjo time with the Niger Delta Development Commission. When the legislature formulated it, Mr. Obasanjo, being present, refused to assent it. When he returned, the National Assembly override his veto and pass it with 2/3. We were determined in the Northeast to do the same thing, because at that time the Speaker is from Northeast, and it is his own single bill with all the members, 48 members of the House of Representatives. The Speaker have to leave his seat to come down to pass this bill, and we pass it. Mr. President doesn't want it. Credit goes to Mr. President's wife, Aisha Buhari. She stood and saw that Northeast Development Commission bill was assented. I'm not trying to be sentimental, but just to portray the effort we've been doing. Secondly, let me come to the issue. You look at the roles of the legislators. When you know you've identified their roles, then what are the procedures that they carry? What are the processes involved? I pass a law. I have said, okay, we have looked at the youth unemployment, the resistiveness, just like he said. He is trying to come with a bill to establish technical. We in Gombe here, we have the FCE technical, the two of its kind, right from time in post-independence with Akoka. Akoka has gone far in Lagos with the government. But by the fiat of the federal government, Federal College of Education Technical remain as it is, right from craft school. And it has produced a lot of LCE graduates to the extent of Bachelor of Education with some certificate. I just came up with a bill that institution must be upgraded to a Federal University of Education Technical, so that you can now deepen the education of these technical teachers, so that we have more of them to impact back in the society. That's another way. We have the Federal College of Horticulture, which came up just after 1999 and the rest, and it has been producing this intermediate works. My bill is now in front of Mr. President for assent. We don't know whether he's going to assent it or not, to become a Federal University of Agriculture to take care of Northeast geopolitical reason. All what you are doing is for the youth. Now the question is, we at the legislature, we have passed the law, and the executive refused to implement it. Yet you blame the legislators? That is one thing that you have to understand where we are. Yes, we do appropriation. They refuse to implement the appropriation. We said, okay, take Gombe Numa Road, Gombe B Road, Gombe Potiskum Road. I'm just giving an example because Gombe is now the home. And all like he said, Last, during the 8th Assembly, I was a member of the Works Committee that we told all this nation. Gombe Bauchi Road, that contract was given since. Look, follow the road now. Kadaria just passed the road and she was complaining. Till today, she needs massaging cream and painkillers.